Okay, guys, we are investigating the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3+4 video game. Many people, including myself, have been very critical of the game. They've mainly been critical of two things: career mode controversy and Bam Margera will not return in the game. But it appears that after much speculation that Bam Margera will be in the game. There was the narrative was kind of saying that originally he wasn't, and then last second Tony was like, he must be in the game. Boom. So now we get that official confirmation at this THPS Fest that was on the weekend. And I think Bam's about to do a little interview, so it'd be cool to see his vibe and what he has to say, and if we get any extra information about that.
Well, there have been rumors and speculations that we were going to have a special guest tonight who was a secret skater in the game. We didn't know if he would be able to make it, but I can confirm.
Damn, he had him on the hook, like, oh, maybe I'll come, maybe I won't.
Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Is about to join us. His brother's band is part of the official soundtrack of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. His name is Margera.
Brandon.
Bam Margera.
Yeah.
Is in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, and he is about to join me on set.
Yeah, so I guess that was the
right
official
now.
reveal, right?
First, let's take a look at this gameplay clip of the icon himself. Shrimp marinara.
I'm Bam Margera from Westchester, Pennsylvania, and I've been skating for 39 years.
Damn.
Second Tony Hawk game, I was so obsessed with playing the game that I was missing flights over it. You're gonna miss another flight. I'm like, shut up, I'm gonna win. Finally, after missing 6 flights, I'm like, I gotta put this thing
6
on,
flights.
This game is just too much fun. Because most sports games is hitting a ball back and forth until the ball gets past you. This game, you could grind the house, you could grind up that pole, you could go down a handrail, you could do endless amounts of things.
Ooh. Ho-ho on the
Everybody
power
from
line.
grandpa to a young kid could love this game. I'm gonna have to let myself play video games again because this one will be well worth it. If I start missing flights again, I know where to put it.
Nice.
And there he is.
See, like, this is the fun of live, and I find this happens a lot too. The broadcast pre-arranged. Oh, I will introduce him, then he will come on, we'll play the clip, and then he will come on. But see, like, they missed the, like, beautiful candid moment of him going like, yo, what up, good to see you. Now they play the clip, and now he's all professional, like, sitting there. That's like the struggle of live when you plan stuff too much. You gotta try to catch, like, the candidness. Now he's all just
And there
formal.
he is, the pride of PA, the one and only, in real life, Bam Margera, my dude.
How you doing?
It's so good to see you,
You
man.
too.
Look at us, we're still at the same party.
I know. You know, I went on a hiatus for quite a few years there. Didn't pick up a skateboard for nearly a decade, and then I got really sick
Damn.
of that. And,
Was it that
you know,
long?
I happened to marry a stretch coach and a model, so who hates alcohol and drugs. So it works out really good. I'm back at it. I'm on the board every day again, and my passion to skateboarding is back when I didn't think it would be. The doctor in 2013 said that my legs were like dry rotted rubber bands from alcohol abuse. And they said, reach down and touch your toes. I did. My hamstring popped, and I was out for a year. So that's how
Damn,
bad of
what?
a drinking bender.
At the doctor?
Wow.
Pulling the
Never
hamstring?
again.
That sounds like a...
that part of me.
That sounds like a, all right, you know, wild story, right? And he's obviously telling it super condensed. But the doctor, like, if you pull your hamstring in the doctor's office, I feel like something's going wrong. Like, that's low-key the doctor's fault, kind of.
He's over, and I'm never.
He
looking
shouldn't
back.
tell you to do that.
And you know, somebody actually said when I was pushing down the road, "Skate or die, dude." And I stopped. I was like, "Skate." I would rather skate because if I don't skate, I'll die. I'll get into no good business. No, skateboarding, 100% skateboarding.
Let's go.
I'm so proud of you, and I'm looking in your face, and I see the lights in your eyes again for the first time in a long time. And I remember when we first met, we were on the Tony Hawk gigantic skate park tour in 2000 when Tony invited you on the tour for the second year. And it's funny because you were sober.
I
back
didn't
then,
remember
yeah.
him, because what's his origins? I see him commentating for the snowboarding X Games and stuff too. I wonder what he was doing on the tour. Like, was he an athlete as well?
You were the guy doing push-ups in the back of the bus.
Yeah.
Like all day, every day, being like, I gotta get a six-pack. I gotta get a six-pack. But skateboarding was like, it fed your entire existence.
Yeah.
Obviously, fame and things happen, but what is it about skateboarding that brought you back home?
I really just forgot who I was. I mean, to tell you the truth, one day, I think I was like in my 30s, and I just looked out of my driveway while I'm sipping on a drink, and I'm looking at a Ferrari, 2 Lamborghinis, a Bentley Bentayga, a DeLorean, a 1928 Mercedes, an S55 Mercedes, 2 Hummers, and all these cars, and I'm like, I have ran out of wishes. I'm just gonna party now.
Right.
Because I never partied before.
Damn.
Whenever I would set a goal, I would always achieve that goal before my deadline. So one day I just said, I ran out of goals, I ran out of wishes, I'm just gonna party, and I really showed me.
Are you?
Damn, he's kind of like saying that he's like complacent, I guess. That's really sad that he has like a vivid memory of that. That's actually really hectic.
He scratched it off the list.
Yeah, and then, you know, now that I'm back on a board and I'm not filming for like a video part, because back then when you film for video parts, if you go to a skate park and you're not going to kickflip over the fence, then you're not going to get a clip in your video part. But now there's Instagram, so as long as I'm out there skating and I'm not in an Irish pub anymore,
you're good.
I can go do whatever. If it's a blunt to fakie on a 4-foot, that's what it's going to be today.
What did it mean to you at this time in your life to get the call from Activision and Tony to be like, hey,
See,
Tony
this will
Hawk
be
Pro
interesting
Skater
too.
3 and 4,
Yeah.
bam, we need you.
You know, I think it would have went much differently if I didn't have one day off. I was seeing my son, Phoenix, in Burbank, and I had a day off where I keep my Range Rover in Oceanside. I'm like, you know what? I tell my wife, I'm just going to call up Hawk and see what he's up to, which I haven't done in a while. He's like, we're skating the vert ramp. Come on by. He was not expecting us to be doing doubles over the big gap, and he's like, what the hell? Oh, like, you're skating like this again? I'm like, yeah, man. Like, so I think if I wouldn't have visited him, all this wouldn't have happened.
So you got the call.
Damn.
Yeah, so thanks to my wife Danny saying, yeah, give Hawk a call. We have a day off. We're heading to Carlsbad towards him. Let's just see how it goes. You haven't seen him in a year or something. So let's just, yeah.
That's pretty
skate the
sick.
ramp, come on by.
That is an absolutely.
So that was when we saw him ollie the channel and stuff. So I guess I wonder if there was like a combination of two things where like Tony Hawk and the team are feeling the backlash of people saying, why isn't Bam in it? Why isn't Bam in it? And then he calls him, and then they were like, actually, and then Tony might have been like, wait, we should push for Bam.
Beautiful thing,
cool.
and I love that Activision, when Tony reached out to them and said, hey, what do you think? They were like, yeah, let's do this. How did this game change your life in the beginning when you got to be a part of
But see, like, Bam, when in my video too, I talk about how Bam talks about his relationship with Tony Hawk. I don't think the game changed Bam's life. Bam was already on his own trajectory. Bam wasn't in the game until 3 or 4. So the game had already been out. And then Bam finally got in later on. But Bam's relationship to Tony Hawk and like being on the tours and like doing all that stuff and the audio stuff together is like how it happened.
pro skating?
It actually, you know, with the Jackass and Viva La Bam and all the MTV stuff, it really put skateboarding on the map, but so did this video game, because every grandma, grandpa, little kid, anybody has played this game, and it's really addictive to the point where I was missing several airplane flights over this game. My mom would
Coming
be like,
back to
"Man,
that
you're gonna
again.
miss your 7th flight."
I feel like I've heard him tell that story before.
I'm trying to get this tape. I'm trying to get the tape.
I'm trying to do the nollie flip crooked grind manual, which reminds me, these tricks were impossible back in the day.
Yeah.
But I think kids do these combinations of tricks, and then they go out in the streets and try them, and then some of them are they're making the Tony Hawk game reality.
Yeah.
Because I'll see some hometown hero on an Instagram, and I'll be like, nollie tray flip crooked grind and nollie flip to manual to pop shove it out. That is from the Tony Hawk game.
Straight up.
And you just did it in real life.
Kareem Campbell was just sitting in this seat 15 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Said the exact same thing.
Yeah,
He's like,
man.
this game is. We were talking about it like, you know, F1 drivers have a simulator, but it simulates the real thing.
Yeah.
But Tony Hawk Pro Skater is like the weird like super fantasy simulator that you can actually grab a little piece of and make real life.
And is what's so rad about the game is, like, you know, if you're gonna play a tennis game or a football game or a soccer game, you're just kicking ball back and forth, and the mission is to put the ball on the goal.
Right.
Well, on the Tony Hawk game, you can crooked grind this, you can ollie off the roof, you can McTwist over there. It's endless, and that's why it's so addictive and fun.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's endless. Right up until that 2-minute timer runs out. No, just kidding. But yeah, that's a good point. I always thought like other sports is like, you know, kind of like the coolest thing that can happen is, you know, you score a goal or it's a really good pass and it's a really unique situation and you complete it. But then things like surfing, skateboarding, snowboarding, whatever, the end goal is this spectacular, crazy, unique thing that occurs, you know? Whereas like, yes, you scored a touchdown in a cool way. Wow, you got a goal. You did a cool save. It's like the threshold is so much lower than in skating. It could be like the craziest thing ever, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I always connected to skating.
I saw someone today on the in the demo room, and this dude was working on a 14 million point trick, and he fell.
No.
14 million. Was that Andy? Andy wouldn't have fell.
Points or something. Yeah.
Andy THPS would not have bailed.
Life was over. No!
I can see the frustration of that. You have like 2 minutes worth of a combination of a trick, and you see the points just keep going and going, only to screw it all up at the very end.
You came up in skateboarding.
Imagine if Bam just streamed himself playing the campaign or whatever. It'd be so fire. I feel like it'd be so funny.
At a very interesting
you should definitely
time. Like
do that.
Just on the cusp of
such commentary.
Kind of being a reject if you skated, right?
Yeah.
And then,
I'm tearing up seeing how THPS saved Bam. It's so inspiring. Like, good for him. Good on him. I mean, I'm super hyped and proud of where Bam is at right now. I wouldn't say Tony Hawk's Pro Skater saved Bam, though. I would say Bam was on his own path, and he's in a good place, and then now he can kind of, like, come back. He would be the biggest streamer. Yeah, I feel like he... Every time I watch an interview with Bam, I'm like, wow, he really is very open, honest, and authentic, you know? And, like, he's a good speaker, good communicator, like, I don't know.
Obviously, X Games is happening, but
it's like hard on sleeve kind of guy.
Original...
Whereas other people, you feel like they're more, like, hidden or whatever. They're very thoughtful and careful with their words, whereas Bam is just like, yeah, whatever. Like, even here, how he came at the start.
Tapes that would be the equivalent of what, like, YouTube shows or Instagram posts would be like today with CKY, etc., and your movies.
Wait. What's he saying now?
Obviously, X Games is happening, but what you were doing you were like the original... You were making tapes that would be the equivalent of what like YouTube shows or Instagram posts would be like today with CKY, etc., and your movies. But it went.
He fumbled a little bit there.
Skateboarding went from not cool, to all the way cool,
and back to not cool again. I think what he should have said there, like I get what he was trying to say. He should have said, "You are the original content creator. You're the original OG. You made a VHS." Now the kids are doing YouTube vlogs and everything. Like, you started it all. I would have said something more like that.
It's in culture.
When I was working on the CKY video, I wanted to make, because all my friends in school were very talented at being funny or being like a jackass.
It's still cool in my heart. Yes.
So
I'm just kidding.
I'm like, how am I going to make a movie mixed with pro skate tricks and funny skits at the same, and just make it for a person who has ADD, you know, just clip to skate trick, and then...
But see, look at that. He's thinking about the audience. Most of the time when people make videos, they're just like, I am skater, I film good trick, I post good trick because that's what skaters supposed to do. He's like, how can I get more people to see this? I want non-skaters to enjoy this too. How can I do that? Like, he was very thoughtful, you know, like, it's really cool.
For a person who has ADD, you know, just clip to skate trick, and then when I played it to my uncles who were all working like auto mechanic shops, they were sitting there laughing their ass off to it. That's when I knew that I had a bigger audience than just skateboarders.
Yeah.
Which sold 1 million copies through word of mouth, so.
Incredible, like, and really set the tone.
Natural born entertainer, yeah. Some people are just like that.
Even Jackass, you know, it's YouTube before YouTube.
Yeah. I'm so happy again.
Exactly.
Like, I just seeing you in real life. It's just, I can't get the grin off my face. Seeing you happy and healthy, where do you want to go from here? Obviously, this is a moment that fills you with inspiration. But what's next for Bam Margera?
I've been to so many treatment centers for alcohol and whatnot, and all they needed to teach me was what my wife taught me. I needed structure. I need to know.
I love that he just says shit like this too.
10 o'clock is my bedtime. I don't care if Tony Hawk's there with Billy Idol and you're hanging out with Bon Jovi, thumbing each other's asses. You're going to bed at 10. And that's that. And then I do. And then I wake up refreshed, and I have a scheduled regimen of fun things to do. I walk the dogs. We stretch. I look for a skate spot. I can't leave the skate spot until I get a trick landed.
All I needed was supermodel wife. Bam could have got any girls in his prime. Like, I'm sure they probably like mess with his head a little bit too. But he got the stretcher girl. I mean, I'm sure he could have hired some kind of stretcher or whatever too. But I guess that's like she's motivating him. You know, that's cool that he figured out.
And it's a very scheduled, fun, structured day, which I never had before because I never
Structure
had
is
a
super
9 to
key for
5.
addicts, to be
I never
honest.
had a
Yeah,
boss
I can
tell
see
me
that.
what to do. So if I'm editing or reading a book or painting at midnight, I'll do that shit till the sun comes up. I needed somebody all along to say, it's bedtime.
It's time. Who knows?
Living the dream. I mean, Bam definitely lived like one of the most interesting lives, but I mean, like he also went through all this negative stuff. So it's like I feel like it's a little bit disingenuous to be like, oh yeah, there's Bam, he's living the dream. I feel like it must be tough when you're like really rich and famous or whatever, because then it's almost gets to a point where like you're almost not allowed to have problems. You're like, oh Bam, he has problems. What an idiot. He messed it up. Blah blah blah. It's like, yo, every single person has problems, even if they're rich and famous. Like, I don't know. I feel like to go through like 10 years of extremely dark, bad, best friend dying, all this stuff. It's like, I feel like just to say like, yeah, living the dream. I feel like that's a little bit, I don't know. Like that wouldn't be what I would say.
A little bit of structure goes a long way.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to tonight?
I'm looking forward to seeing Steve Caballero's new band called Urethane.
Yeah.
And Adolescents are playing after that. But it's actually just really good to see all my old skater friends, because I went on like a 10-year hiatus. I didn't want to be seen. I would actually have a manager say, you want to make 10 grand for a 1 hour appearance? I'm like, no. He's like, all you have to do is just appear for 1 hour, 20 grand. No, why not? Because I don't want to appear anywhere. I'm on drugs and I'm drunk and I'm 250 pounds and I want to be seen by no one.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I really was
especially when you made so much money, like what does 10 grand matter? I feel like he really doesn't want to do something. I can totally understand why he would do it.
When I'm going to stop. You know, and hitting rock bottom, how do you determine hitting rock bottom for a millionaire? Because rock bottom is somebody who's homeless, out on the street, their family told them to kick rocks. All your friends say, don't call me anymore. So for somebody who still has stuff, it's hard to determine rock bottom. But I found myself leaving Lamar Odom's in a purple Bentley underneath a bridge in Burbank, buying drugs from a homeless person enough to not want to wake up the next day. And
damn.
That's when
I think I've heard him talk about this story in another interview.
I need somebody to come and change. So that's when I met Danielle the next day, stretch coach, now my wife.
So you're mobile and sober.
100% sober. Yeah.
I'm so damn happy for you, man.
Yeah.
OMG, that's Bam? Because it's Bam. Come
is a
on.
gift because I'm sitting
He's
here
looking
with you and I
good.
just think, you played so many pranks on me.
Lamar Odom and Bam buying drugs from homeless dude is insane. Who is Lamar Odom? I thought that was the name of the rehab center. Should I ask ChatGPT? Or can you, maybe, Nutsack, can you tell me who it is?
Yeah.
There's a crazy, no wait, that was Steve-O. I get them confused. There was a crazy story of Steve-O and Mike Tyson. I don't know where they talked about it, but I remember hearing it. I was like, oh my God. Ex-NBA player. Okay, so.
If I didn't stop, then I would die. I would be dead by now.
Yeah.
I would be up for 3 days, then asleep for 2, then up for 3. It was not good.
Sobriety is a journey, not a destination. Yeah, I guess you could say it's like a moving target. Same as like fitness. You never, oh, I have completed my fitness. I never need to exercise again. I can't, even though I haven't drunk alcohol for 13 years, I can't really relate because people sometimes get it misconstrued when I say, I don't drink alcohol. I very much just live my life a certain type of way. I'm not like consciously not drinking alcohol. I just am living my life and never thinking about it for even 1 second, to be honest. Who is the interviewer? How do you say his name? Is it Cell? I can't remember, but I'm not sure what his origin is action sports in. I know him as the X Games commentators, but I'm not sure what his origin story was. I can't remember how to say his name though. I think it used to be Cell, then he changed it back to his full name.
I'm so hungover that I had to drink instantly to not feel sick anymore, and that's no way to live.
And now you're living with your skateboard by your side. Your trusted steed. She was waiting for you the whole time. Bam Margera.
It's a struggle for something I can't really bear respect and understand.
Yeah, me too. The longest of long life. It just brings me joy to see you happy and to see you where you belong here.
I wish life was like a video game. You do all the work, level up. You should get to keep your level, but instead you got to keep working and stay where you are. I don't wish life was like a video game like that. Saliman Meskila. How do I say Saliman? Saliman? I don't think you should keep where you are. I think it's good. Every day, this is what I say. Every day you're one decision away from ruining your life. Which, like, yeah, maybe that's stuck, whatever. I think that's good. You gotta take each moment with importance, you know? Like, you can ruin your life at any second. In 5 minutes, you can completely destroy your life, you know? I think it's important to have that pressure and, like, live with intention. And yeah, you can't complete fitness. You can't complete life. I don't know. Embrace ruining the life? No, just embrace that you have to make good decisions and you should always be on your shit, you know?
In this game,
you know, lastly, my shaman, who's my best friend, he actually summed it up really well. He's like, if you could keep one thing and one thing only, what would you keep? Now, this is very important, so I'm going to give you 24 hours to think about it. The next day, I was like, you know what? I'm going to keep skating. He's like, well, then keep skating. You can keep that. So I've been doing it ever since.
And that, my friend, is a mic drop.
Interesting.
Love you, bud. Love you too. Ha! Well, I didn't know this night.
If life was like a video game, it would be like the Truman Show, which is sad. Homie, you're watching a live stream right now. You're watching the Truman Show. Is this sad? No, I feel what you're saying there. He still gets residuals from shows made forever ago. I mean, all the stuff I've been trying to say is there's more to life than fame and money, right? When you guys saying living the dream, I'm saying there's not only that component.
3000 gifted a tier 1 sub to X Origin.
Yo,
they've given 11 gift subs in the channel.
Thank you so much for the sub. Abo 3000. Appreciate that.
Get any better, but it just got absolutely perfect. Bam Margera just giving us complete life lessons on how to come full circle and stay as close as you can to what
I feel like he was a
in
little
this
bit
case,
uncomfortable.
the magic of skateboarding. Nora, Steezus,
That was good.
what a night. What are you guys up to?
Bam is a pretty good example of rich and fame. No, well, yeah, like what I keep saying, Bam, even Justin Bieber and like some of these other people, if you get to a point where no one ever tells you no, you have unlimited money, you have unlimited resources, everyone loves you, everything you do is great. It's like so impossible to keep a level head. Like, especially when they're young. Like, even Bam, like, he was pretty young. He was a little bit older than Justin Bieber or whatever, but he's still so young that it's like, how are you supposed to have a level head? Now you go through all this tough times, then now you can be a bit more level. Everyone suffers, some suffer with a pile of money. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Except Ricky is a producer of his own show. Truman didn't have a choice. The real Truman Show is YouTube families. The true Truman Show is Ryan's World YouTube channel. Oh my god.